Hi, everybody. This is Maxine Taylor with my astrology overview for October 2020. And I've got a lot to share with you. And of course, everybody is ready to see what October brings. So after you have watched this overview, check out your own forecast for your own sign just beneath this on the screen. Okay, first of all, the sun, the center of our solar system, the center of our life, the giver of life, is in lovely, charming, I say the right thing at the right time, Libra. And you will find that this is so. Those of you who are Librans or have a Libra moon or a Libra ascendant, you know that you can absolutely say anything if you say it tactfully and with a smile. And so we will be watching the sun in our chart. And of course, I've got all the charts ready to go here. The sun stays in Libra until the 22nd when it moves into what I consider to be the most powerful sign in the entire zodiac, Scorpio. It's all or nothing for Scorpio. Now, Scorpio does rule everything that is hidden. And so when the sun enters Scorpio, this is a time to look beneath the surface at what is really going on. On the 22nd, when the sun enters Scorpio, you will, those of you who are empathic, will feel the difference. It's a more intense sign because, as I mentioned, it's all or nothing with Scorpio. And so we're going to talk about that as it circles the zodiac and where it lands in your solar chart. Okay, now Venus starts off in great, grand, dramatic, glorious Leo. It's there for 2 days. And then it moves into details, Virgo. Now, Libra is the lesser benefic, which I consider to be an oxymoron. How can you be less good? I think it's because they're comparing it to Jupiter, which is the greater benefic. Oh, they're both marvelous. And so wherever Venus falls in your chart, and remember the Sun and Mercury and Venus, you kind of travel as a triumvirate. They travel as a team. And so Venus moves very, very quickly. But the Sun and Mercury and Venus always seem to catch up with each other. The Sun is not going to move any faster than a degree a day, maybe a degree in 1 minute a day, but they do work together. And here's where it shows up. As I said, Venus enters great, grand, glorious Leo. So your attitude about love and money and romance and beauty and art is in Leo for 2 days, and then it moves into if I wake up in the morning and I have nothing to worry about, I'm worried, Virgo, because Virgo wants to serve. Virgo wants to be needed. And then on the 27th, Venus enters once again its own sign, Libra. Now, the sun, as I mentioned, is going to be in Libra until the 22nd when it enters Scorpio. So you can see that the sun and Venus are pretty tight with each other. And remember, Venus was retrograde this summer, so it's kind of catching up. But wherever it is, not only in your solar chart, but in your natal chart, that area is filled with love and beauty and happiness. Love it. I just love it. Now, Mercury, the planet of communication, correspondence, and transportation, is, as many of you know, going to go retrograde on the 13th in Scorpio. Okay. Now, the sun, of course, enters Scorpio on the 22nd. Very, very interesting. So you can see the three of them are kind of getting ready to group up together. Now Mercury has been in the shadow of the retrograde, and I'm sure many of you have noticed it. You try and say something and the words come out crazy, or you put your reading glasses down somewhere and you can't remember where you put them. Some of you I know are joking and saying, I've been doing that since I was 6. But it's more noticed in the shadow of the retrograde. It's not officially retrograde until the 13th. However, my suggestion is that you wait until Mercury comes out of the shadow of the retrograde. It's going to go into retrograde on the 13th. It will stay retrograde until Election Day, November 3rd, when it enters the shadow of the retrograde. And then on November, trying to remember, I believe it's the 14th, it comes out of the shadow. And so my suggestion is not to start a new project. Well, definitely not when Mercury's retrograde, because anything you start under a retrograde Mercury either fizzles out completely or has to be redone within the year. You don't want that. I have tested this out, and I can tell you it works. So, I mean, big time. So Mercury's going to go retrograde on the 13th and back up into Libra on the 27th. Now, where did we hear Libra on the 27th? Just a minute ago, or 2 minutes ago. Venus is moving forward on the 27th into Libra, while Mercury is retrograding back into Libra on the 27th. This is going to be an important day. Okay? One of them is moving forward, one of them is moving backwards in the same degree and the same sign. Excuse me, on the same date in the same sign. And the degree doesn't even matter at that point, because they're simultaneously on that date, one moving forward, one retrograding. Just kind of see where this all falls in your birth chart. I'll tell you where it falls in your solar chart. You look at your birth chart and see where it falls. It'll be very eye-opening, I'm sure. Okay, and Mars has been retrograde, and it won't go direct until next month. Remember, I mentioned to you that when Mars goes retrograde, it's not like a Mercury retrograde. Things are not confused. Mars rules action and energy, and it flatlines. Feels like it's flatlining. Nothing happens on a Mars retrograde. Oh, you might say, well, I bought a new car, or I did this and that. Really? Why'd you do that? Seriously. It doesn't mean that absolutely nothing, everything stops. In other words, we're getting our mail, we're getting emails, we're getting phone messages, voicemail, but it's just not moving forward. It's a holding pattern. And in a holding pattern, you just keep circling. The wagons just keep circling. So that's what's happening. Also, on the 4th of the month, Pluto goes direct. Now, the shadow of Pluto is going to last a lot longer than the shadow of one of the faster moving planets. Pluto is the planet of transformation. Love it. It is going direct on the 4th in Capricorn. And hopefully you'll feel that more than you will the retrograde Mars and the retrograde Mercury. When two planets are retrograde, you feel them, but transformation will begin moving forward. Okay, we have a couple of I have a couple of announcements that I think you're going to want to know about. The first one, of course, is that we're having 2 full moons this month, so that I'm going to be posting my full moon video probably tomorrow. The first full moon is October 1st, and it is in 9 degrees of Aries. Check where 9 degrees of Aries falls in your birth chart, because this is where things will come to a head. On the full moon, I remember the energy has been building since the new moon 2.5 weeks ago. And as we approach the full moon, it is reminiscent to me of filling a balloon with air. And so you fill it with air, fill it with air, fill it with air, and there's barely room for that last breath of air. And when you blow that last breath of air into the balloon pops. That's the full moon. It brings things to a head. So depending on what you have been waiting for, it can come to a head. Now we got Mercury retrograde on the 13th, and we got Mars already retrograde. So the effect, quote unquote, is going to be questionable, because with 2 retrogrades, as I just said, it's a strange time, of course. Then 2 weeks later, we have a new moon on October 16th, naturally. And the new moon is in 24 Libra. It's actually 2353 of Libra. I just rounded up to 24. This is a time of new beginnings. And I'll share this with you in your solar chart. I'm looking at a solar chart right now. The actual chart sits off to my left and your right. And this is why very often you'll see me looking in that direction. So things start picking up. And then on Halloween, October 31st, we have the second full moon. And this one is in 8.5 of Taurus. 8 Taurus 38. Again, I will tell you where it falls in your solar chart, and you look it up in your birth chart and combine the two. Now, the full moon ceremony for October 1st, I'm going to do hopefully today and post it tomorrow, but it'll be available for you on the full moon. The October 31st full moon, same deal, probably a day or two ahead. Now, I've talked about your birth chart today, and some of you know that I have added something new to my menu, and I think you'll enjoy this if you have not taken advantage of it. I am now offering Blue Star reports. These are computer-generated reports. They're very good. I'm offering a birth chart report. Included with that is an actual copy of your birth chart. The report is 39 pages long. Not a bad deal. And I'm also offering a 3-month daily forecast. Go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com. You'll see it right there on the first page. I hope that the low price is such that those of you who are having difficulty financially now, we know everything that's going on in the world, this is an opportunity for you to get a birth chart interpretation. It's not like me interpreting your chart. So I don't want you to be disappointed. But it's a very good report. I did not write it, but Michael Erlewine did, and I highly recommend him. Same thing for the daily forecast for 3 months. That's a pretty good deal. So I'm making this available to you so that you're included, that you're in the loop. And dear friends, I think that's it for now. We're coming closer and closer to November 3rd. And I know we are all ready to find resolution. So, my blessing on everybody is may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now.